Competition time again, and here is a chance to win a brand new PS5. All you got to do is subscribe to OnTrack GP on YouTube.
Also follow us on Instagram at OnTrackGP. Make sure you like the competition post, it's pinned on Instagram as well.
You can win yourself this right now. What are you waiting for?
Can I enter? Or can I have a go?
No.
Corner. Because it's steep uphill and it's off camber, the rear right wheel actually gets light in the middle of the corner and you actually spin up the right rear wheel. Hello everyone, Richard Bradley here with OnTrack GP, ready to give you another onboard. Formula One this weekend is returning after a weekend off, going to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. This is the shortest circuit on the Formula One calendar, and a lot of people say it's the easiest, but I kind of disagree with that, because the difference is on a track which is supposedly easy and quite short is that because everybody is so close, the gaps between the field are very, very small, and it's very, very difficult to make a difference. There's a couple of tricky things with this circuit. Only two meaningful left-handers means that the tyres on the right side of the car are very cold, which means that when you go into those left-handers, the balance of the car is very, very different to the right. So you have to compromise your car quite severely to make sure you're good everywhere else, and you kind of sacrifice those two corners. So let me take you for an onboard lap. This is me in an LMP2 car from the 2017 European Le Mans Series race. I've got a 4.5 litre V8 behind me, generating about 650 horsepower. Pretty good performance, and let's see what it's about. Okay, coming out of the last corner onto the start-finish straight, and the first thing you'll notice after I pass this Aston Martin is how steep uphill it is. It's quite difficult to see here because of the bright sun outside, but it's a very, very steep uphill first corner, which means that on the first lap there can be quite a lot of people feeling a little bit brave about how late they can brake, and obviously it's a very tight radius, so this could be a danger zone on the first lap. Keep your eyes out for this. There's a big bump under braking, third gear, tight right-hander. You clip the curb on the inside, let the car run out on the outside. Track limits can be a big problem there, but they've got a big sausage curb on the exit to try and stop you. So if you do it too much, you're going to end up damaging your car. Exit is very, very important because we've got the only really long straight on the circuit, and it goes uphill into the best overtaking spot into the circuit in turn 3. Very, very tight, first gear hairpin, and I personally hate this corner because it's steep uphill and it's off camber. The rear right wheel actually gets light in the middle of the corner, and you actually spin up the right rear wheel. So if you take the perfect line, you're going to generate more tyre wear on that right hand side, or you can compromise yourself and go a little bit wider, not take the perfect line, but you don't get that wheel spin sensation, which can save tyre wear, and it can help you get a better exit potentially. Very, very tight. Again, you need to get back on power as early as you possibly can because you've got a reasonably long straight into a very, very tricky corner. Now, this corner is very difficult because the braking zone, as you can see, goes very, very steep downhill. And unlike most circuits of the era now, we have a gravel trap there. And because you have to turn in while you're braking, it's also incredibly easy to lock up the front tyre. So over the years, you've seen many people go straight on through this gravel trap. And as long as you carry enough momentum, you won't get stuck. Because there is a surface road on the outside, but you're going to lose a lot of time. To turn in very, very early here, try and get as much curb as you can, kind of hooks the car around, and then you do a wall of death on the exit, trying to keep the car on the curb without touching the gravel. If you touch that gravel, you're in big trouble. Now we come to the left-handers I was mentioning. Now these are the first left-handers on the track, so the right side tyres are going to be very, very cold. And you can see, even though you open it up, you have to turn in very gently, and I get a lot of understeer here just because I don't have that tyre temperature. And then you see as the temperature comes in the middle of the corner, the front grips and the back steps out. So you always have to be quite cautious about this. Running wide onto the curb on the exit to open up the second left. Again, you can see a little bit loose because of the lack of tyre temperature. And then we come out onto the straight into the two, to be honest, most fun corners on the track and probably the scariest as well. You go uphill, quite steep as you can see, blind towards the corner, and then you can't actually see the corner as you turn in. Very, very light braking, fifth gear, get as much curb on the inside as you possibly can, and you have a very tricky pit entry here as well, where the cars have to stay on the inside on the exit before diving into the pits. So if someone's following very close behind, this can be a bit of a danger zone. So you let the car run out as much as possible, track limits hotspot here, going down that curb, steep downhill into the last corner, and you get a very weird sensation here. because right on the apex, the track goes from very steep downhill to all of a sudden being flat, and you gain a massive amount of front grip. So you have to be aware of that, because sometimes it can occasionally catch you out and get you a little bit of a snap on the rear, as you saw there. Letting the curb run onto the exit, and yeah, that's the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Not my favourite circuit in the world, I'm not going to lie, but probably the most picturesque circuit in the world. And historically, the racing's always been quite good here. So I think we're in for an exciting weekend. So I hope that gave you a bit of tips and advice on the Austrian Grand Prix circuit, the Red Bull Ring. And yeah, enjoy the race.
Competition time again, and here is a chance to win a brand new PS5. All you got to do is subscribe to On Track GP on YouTube.
Also follow us on Instagram at OnTrackGP. Make sure you like the competition post, it's pinned on Instagram as well.
You can win yourself this right now. What are you waiting for?
Can I enter? Or can I have a go?
No.